Good morning, all of you. Welcome back to Daily Vlog with God. It is so good to have you here. Let me tell you that there are some mornings when you wake up, you get these disturbing phone calls. You really don't know how to handle the situation, it goes out of your hand. Oftentimes, including me, we run to our friends for help, we run for a human help. I used to be a person who used to run to my friends for every help. Let me tell you, they always have a limitation to help you. Yes, they will be surely there for you, but they always have a limitation. But for the last 1 year, I've learned how to depend on God, how to run to Him first, how to seek His kingdom first. Is something I know it's not very easy for many of you, but over the years, I have learned that the solution comes from Him. So my day usually starts with a quiet time because if I have to take a disturbing call and to talk with somebody and to handle a situation, I need to have the strength from a supernatural power, and that is something that I only get from my Father who is in heaven. So let's start our day with a quiet time and let us get charged by the Holy Spirit. Let us get charged by the supernatural power and always seek His kingdom first. So today we're going to do cooking with God. It's not just in cooking, but we need to have the involvement of God in almost everything that we do or everything that we do in a day. So I have just kept a kadai on my stove and I'm just waiting for the kadai to get heated, and today we're going to make chicken curry. As we all know that we are Indians, we cook 3 times a day and we have this sumptuous meal almost every day. And we take so much of time for cooking and very less time to spend with God. So I am trying to figure out how can we spend more time with God. So I figured it out that cooking is one place that we spend so much of time, and how can I spend time with God and how can I utilize that time, and that is what I'm going to be discussing in this vlog. So there are 3 things that we can do. So I've poured the oil right now, and by the way, the chicken has already been marinated and kept aside for almost an hour, so you don't have to worry about that. So we're waiting for the oil to get heated and we'll go for the next process. And as I go into the next process, I'll explain more things about this vlog. So the oil is heated. Now I'm going to throw in some mustard seeds. Along with mustard, I'm also going to put some fenugreek, because fenugreek is actually used to sharpen the taste of chicken curry, just like how Jesus sharpens the taste in our life when He enters into our life, just like that. I love these imageries, by the way. I'm sorry if that's annoying. I've also put some 2 cloves, because again this is also used to sharpen the taste, and the onions goes in. So onions take a lot of time to get cooked, so we have so much time to talk on what exactly I have intended and kept for you in this vlog. So I'm just going to give these onions a little stir. And this is going to be my first point. While you wait for the onions to be cooked, it takes a lot of time. The best thing that you can do is stir up your spirit with some worship songs and start worshiping the Lord. And you can always pray for your friends and your family while you are worshiping. And this is one time that, when you wait for something, when you think a lot, there is always a possibility for you to think negative. But if we can utilize it, if we can exchange it for a worship time and start stirring up in your spirit, that can actually be a food for your spirit, man. So this is my first point. While you wait for the food to be cooked, let's worship God. Let's put on some music and worship. So our onions have turned translucent. I've just added chilies and also garlic. I didn't have ginger. I thought I had, but when I came back home, I figured out there is no ginger. But that's okay. That's okay. Okay, so the onions have turned brown and it's perfect looking. So the second point that I want to share with you is give thanks to God all the time. Give thanks to God for whatever He's provided. So I've just put the tomatoes and I'm putting all the masalas as well. And you can see and understand by what all masalas I will be putting. So let me tell you something, that there have been days when I don't get the kind of food I want to eat, which I call a desirable food or something that I have craving for. And I used to grumble when I don't see that kind of food on my table. I hated when I had to go on lentils every day. But right now, I'm in a position of maturity, or I'm in a position where I can tell you that when I see any kind of food on my plate, I thank God. And sometimes it fills my eyes when I see that He has never failed to provide me, He's never failed to fill my tummy. And I'm thankful for that. So, this is the second thing that I learned, and I'm doing that right now. I do not grumble over certain things I don't get at this point of time. I start praising Him and I start thanking Him. So, I've added some of these masalas. I've added green chili, which is the Kashmiri green chili, and turmeric and garam masala. I'm also putting coriander powder in it and give it really good mix so that masalas get blended really well. So I thank God for everything at this point of time. I thank God everything. So I keep saying the word at this point of time. The reason is because these are the things that I started realizing over a year. And this is not the person, or this was not the person that I used to be. This is just over a year that I started realizing and I started to do this. So I thank Him for everything, and so far my life has been blessed, and I know that a God who can take care of your past can also take care of your future. So I don't basically fear. I don't have any more fear. I just give it to Him. Yes, there are times when I get startled and overwhelmed by certain situations, but it takes me a little time to get it into my system. But once I get it into my system, I trust in God and I give myself and I surrender myself to God. So this is the secret ingredient that I have been wanting to tell you, that I'm going to add into the chicken curry. It's a Lay's chips, the green one. This is not really my recipe. It's actually my friend's mother. She is an amazing cook. I won't even call her cook. I call her a chef. She's an amazing chef. So she makes this really tasty chicken curries. And in one of her chicken curries, she used to put this Lay's chips. So I'm just putting some Lay's chips. And because it's salty, I want you to be really careful in adding salt, because the Lay's chips is also already salty. So be very careful in how much you add the salt. So I've put the chicken in, and I'm going to blend the chicken with the masala really well so that it gets blended. And I don't initially put water because I want the water from the chicken to release. That makes the curry really thick. If you pour a lot of water, it just changes the flavor of the chicken curry and makes it real worse. Real bad. So the chicken curry looks yum, and the water in the chicken has released. And if you need to pour a little more water, maybe you can add it later. But initially I don't pour water because it changes the whole flavor of the chicken. I want the chicken curry to be really thick because I want to eat it with my rice. So maybe I'll add a little water if I feel that it's too thick. Yay! So my chicken curry is ready and it smells really good. And I know that it's going to taste really nice. So let me just check. And the chicken curry is amazing. It's a wow. So let's go and have our dinner. And here our last point of what we can do when we cook with God. So the last point is, whenever you cook, always take a moment to memorize a verse. So I have this small board which is actually kept near to my stove. It's above the stove actually. It's on a wall, and I stick these post-its on it, on which I write these Bible verses. And while I cook, and if I have to wait in front of the stove for a very long time, I would just look at these verses and start memorizing them. And for the last couple of months, I've seen how these verses have been a blessing. Whenever I go through a struggle, these verses would just come alive in my life. And so these are the 3 points that I want you to look into. The first one is worship God with some music. Second thing is that You can give thanks to God for whatever He's provided, because He's a God who's provided you for the past. He will provide you for the future. And the third one is memorize some verses. So guys, have a great day. Bless you. See you in the next vlog. Bye bye.